what the heck did I watch? Like I am still trying to wrap my mind and wrap my head around everything that's going on. My stomach was turning like kiyashishimisiwa. Kiyashishimwa. I am disgusted. What the heck? What's going on in this film? Kanti, you find out that no, her and her man's actually, this is freaky stuff, because even it's a freaky deaky. Man, I need a debrief session. Hello and welcome back to Pactolas. My name is Shibu and I'm on a crazy mission. I am going to review 100 South African movies in 100 days. Today is day 5 of 100 and we are reviewing High Infidelity that came out on Friday the 10th, I think. Was it the 10th? Yeah. This movie came out on the 10th of October, a Friday. And what the heck? What the heck did I watch? Like I am still trying to wrap my mind and wrap my head around everything that's going on. Where do I even start this review? Maybe we should do like a little synopsis of the film. By the way, I am definitely doing spoilers. So if you have not watched this movie, please go and watch it so we can chat, so we can dissect, so we can figure out together what the heck. Like what the heck for real. This movie follows Larissa, who is married to Hugo, and Larissa works at an insurance company in the claims department. So basically Larissa is in charge of approving claims that are going to be paid out whenever somebody with a life insurance with their company dies. So it's like life insurance policies, right? Larissa works with a lady called Mpho. So we find out that Mpho, who works with Larissa, and Hugo, Larissa's husband, are having an affair. And we find out at the same time as Larissa does, because she catches them in her bed at home doing the deed. And as if that's not crazy enough, and as if that's not like bad enough, the most disgusting part is that they laugh. Mpho and Hugo laugh about the situation in Larissa's face. Like, imagine, this movie was so insane. And the entire time I was watching the movie, I just could not understand why the things that are happening are happening. Yes, they slowly reveal things bit by bit, but like both Mpho and Hugo were treating this whole situation and treating Larissa as if they blatantly don't care about her, and it's like their aim to completely and utterly destroy her. And the sad thing, right, when you're watching the movie is that Larissa actually gives in and she asks this stranger called Farouk, Dr. Farouk, to kill her because of the entire situation. She is distraught, because not only did Mpho and Hugo cheat and laugh in Larissa's face when she finds out, but they also then sort of they staged a sex tape where they made it seem like Larissa was having sex with her husband. And it was Mpho and Hugo having sex. Like, can you hear how sick the events of this movie are? Then after that is done, Mpho at work uses Larissa's phone to send the sex tape to her colleagues. Like, this movie was so insane, and I was literally feeling so disgusted the entirety of watching this film, because they slowly then uncover that the reason why Hugo and Mpho are doing this is because Mpho and Hugo want Larissa to be taken out of her position at work so that Mpho can get the promotion, step into the position where she's now able to be the person approving payouts. And by doing that, she'll be able to approve some of the payouts that are never claimed because either someone dies and the beneficiaries die as well. So the money, ifella moyeng, essentially. So it was all sort of like a play and a plot to try and make sure that Mpo is in a position to be the one doing the payouts. So the reason they want Larissa out of the picture so that Mpo can enter and do the claims, and the reason why Larissa needs to move out of the position is because she herself is like a good girl, a church girl, and yeah, she's not gonna do fraud and commit fraud and things like that. So, because I was wondering, like, why didn't the husband just say, babe, let's share the company with a heist? Can we do that? The reason why Larissa and Hugo, her husband, didn't just work together to steal the money that is not being claimed is because Larissa is a good girl. She is a church girl. In fact, the day that she found out that Mpo and Hugo were having an affair, she was on her way to church. And then along the way home, she had some car troubles. Her car broke down. And then she met this character called Dr. Farouk. And Farouk is played by Nkosana Samane, who played Noluju in Shaga Ilembe. And I mean, this guy was pretending to be like some Nigerian witch doctor or something, because he had flyers about like, I can help you with bad luck and I can help you get back at your enemies and things like that. So those sort of like flyers that you normally see in a CBD, like, do you have bad luck? Do you want, fortune? Those type of people, like, you call this number and they're supposed to give you muti or whatever to help you out. I don't know how that stuff works, but that's sort of like the flyer that Dr. Farouk had. Anyway, he is there when Larissa has car trouble, and he basically like helps her jumpstart her car, or push start her car, not jumpstart it. He helps her push start the car, but tells her, listen, just go home because, your car's having issues, so don't go to where you were initially supposed to go. Kanti, when she gets home, she finds Mpo and Hugo in bed having sex, and then they laugh when she sees them and catches them. So later on in the movie, it sort of starts being unraveled that Mpo and Hugo came together so that they can get Larissa out by basically making her go insane, pushing her maybe to leave the marriage, leave the job, so that Mpo can get the promotion and then be the ones who's going to be able to approve claims and they can steal money like that. But what I'm trying to get at is that the way that these guys went about it, Mpo and Hugo, was so horrible, so evil, that it literally made my stomach turn. That very first scene where we see Mpo and Hugo being caught by Larissa and they laugh in her face. In fact, Hugo even asks her to join them. There is no need for you to be doing all this crying. Just come and join us, right? It like felt so sinister, so evil, so wicked. It was disgusting. And like the more you see these guys like going from being caught and laughing in Larissa's face and then staging the sex tape after that, it was disgusting. So Larissa ended up asking Dr. Farouk, who somehow pops up every time Larissa is in trouble, which was very weird because I'm like, why are you all over the place? And in different places at that. It's not like Larissa kept driving past the same corner, but wherever she would stop, like Dr. Farouk is there like, yo, my sister, I can help you. And Farouk has like the worst Nigerian accent, to the point where I was even asking myself, like, is Nkosana struggling to imitate a Nigerian accent? And if so, like, why did you even do that in the first place? Right? But only later on in the film do we find out that Nkosana actually is not Nigerian in the film. Dr. Farouk is not Nigerian. He was just pretending to be Nigerian. And then it made sense why the accent was not so good. The way this movie is positioned, the way it's being told, how the story is told, is like, you're not actually being given any information. You start off being very confused about what's happening, and it just takes you into and takes you through this crazy series of events that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around. Okay. But yeah, like this film was so mind bending and mind twisting, and the events in it were so like sinister. The way that these two, Mpo and Hugo, were treating Larissa was so horrible. They pushed her to a point of wanting to kill herself, but I guess she didn't have the guts to do it. So she asked Dr. Farouk, who is all over the place. She asked Dr. Farouk to basically do it, and then she dies. And you would expect that they would feel like Mpo and Hugo would feel some sort of remorse, thinking, yo, maybe we took it too far, she's dead. But celebrate. Mpo oh happy. Hey, I can finally get this money. I'm like, how evil can you be, dude? Like, how insane can you be? I just couldn't understand the events. And man, I could feel it when the movie started. Honestly speaking, I could feel it when the movie started, because like they're just showing Larissa going to work, working and all that stuff, going from work to church before her car breaks down. And these are like normal events, like you don't expect to feel or think that something bad is going to happen. But the music, the background music in this film and the background music that was accompanying all of these scenes was like unsettling. Or you couldn't just, it was making you feel like something is not right with whatever's happening. It was very, very unsettling. And props to the sound design, or the music composer, whoever was doing the music on the film. Props to them, because they really set the tone early on in the movie that things are not what they seem, and very insidious things are happening. Just creepy, weird things are about to go down in this film. And I think that's like leading me to talk about like the plot twist at the end, where, okay, fine, Mpo and Hugo were plotting against Larissa, and then they managed to basically get into the position, only to find out that no, Mpo was playing Hugo with Dr. Farouk. They are the masterminds of this whole heist thing. Farouk told Mpo to date Hugo. Hey, it's a lot. So that Larissa can go out, so that Mpo can get in, and then they can do the heist together without Hugo. And actually, Larissa's not dead. She's alive, and they've been using Larissa to haunt Mpo. And the reason that Farouk is using Larissa to haunt Mpo is because Mpo was playing Farouk. They were not in cahoots together. She lied about how much money they can actually get out of the claims. She said it was like 500K, and it's like 20 million rand. So we are here seeing backstabbing on all fronts. Just when we think we've got the whole picture, Larissa's alive, Hugo has been played. We actually find out that no, the masterminds are not actually Mpo and Dr. Farouk. It's Larissa and her husband, who are so freaking freaky that they decided that Hugo must go sleep with another woman so that they can essentially have them think that they're the masterminds and have them be the ones that everything is pinned on, because the money was transferred by Mpo. Larissa was killed by Farouk. So they essentially absolve themselves of the crime, get to enjoy the money, but have Mpo and Farouk take the fall for it. And I'm like, what kind of marriage is this? To that extent, guys. You are what the heck? What's going on in this film? What the heck is going on in this film? And Literally, you only get to the end of it, and only then do you realize what has been going on the entire film. Like, man, I need a debrief session for this film. I need for me to talk to someone about this film. So please, I need you to let me know what you think about this film. How did it make you feel? What are the, because like the weird thing for me is, when did Larissa start acting? Because she is definitely a freak. The fact that she is okay with allowing her husband sleep with another woman and basically frame that woman and her partner. How is that like being done? Secondly, like, she took a risk. No, let me finish this first point. What I'm trying to get at is that Larissa is definitely a freak. So has she been acting the entire time about being this church girl? And for how long? For how long has she been pretending to be this good, well-mannered woman? Right? To the point where Mpo believed that they could basically drive her to insanity by doing all of these insidious and evil things in her life. Right? Kanti, you find out that no, her and her man's actually, this is freaky stuff, because even it's a freaky digi. Yeah, freaky digi kamara marriage yabon. Because at the end, the husband says, "Oh, so what are we gonna do next time we get bored?" And she's like, "We're gonna do another heist." I'm like, la borea kamara linyalo. To the point of letting your partner sleep with somebody else. What kind of freaky stuff is this? What kind of marriage is this? I am I'm perplexed, guys. I am still perplexed at what the heck happened in this movie. That's one thing that I feel like is an open question in my mind, because I have so many questions. That's one question, is, was Larissa pretending the entire time about being this good person? And for how long? That's number one. Number two, Larissa asked Farouk to kill her, right? Because she couldn't deal with all of this turmoil in her life and the betrayal from her husband and her bestie at work, Mpo. That is a risk. Like, how did she not know that Farouk was actually gonna kill her? How? And even deeper than that, if we take it a step back, I feel like Larissa knew that Mpo and Farouk are working together. How? How? Because Hugo couldn't have known that they're working together, because Mpo and Farouk basically, when they were unraveling all the events and all the plots and scheming behind the scenes, is that Farouk was a hidden, chess piece on the board that only Mpo knew about. So how did they know about Farouk? Because that means Larissa also was playing into the fact that Farouk is always there and she's getting herself close to him and pretending to be, coming to him for advice and coming to him to help her. How did they know? How did they find out that they're working together? And then she took a huge risk. How did she not know that Farouk was going to kill her? You know what I'm saying? And what the heck kind of marriage is this? Who gets bored to that extent, guys? So, like, this was literally such a mind F type of movie, because the events just don't make sense. Like, why would somebody do this to somebody else? Why would a husband do this to their wife? Why would a colleague do this to a close colleague of theirs? So, yeah, man, I know this movie was, yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around what the heck I just watched. Right? Yo. And I have to give it to the actors and actresses. I think I forgot to mention them. Larissa is played by Ayanda Boroto. Hugo is played by Buyile Mdladla. And then we mentioned that Farouk is played by Nkosana Samane. And then Mpo is played by Ngobile Kumalo. And then they also have here Ndamase, played by Jet Novuko. Ndamase, played by Jet Novuga. Ndamase is Larissa and Mpo's boss, who was also part of the scheme. What is happening? What I need answers. What is going on? Who approached? Did Larissa approach the boss? Did the boss approach Larissa? What like? I need answers about this film, right? But I think Ngobile Kumalo, who played Mpo, she gave such a great. She was killing the role of a villain. Like the way she had no remorse in her eyes. In fact, she looked like she was enjoying all the evil and bad things that she was doing to Larissa. She really nanshishimisa. Nanshishimisa ke wana character ya hai. I literally, my stomach was turning every time I watched her and Hugo come on the screen, reveling and having, a whole good time about all the terrible things that they're doing to Larissa. So both of them did really such an amazing job in acting. Ngobile Kumalo and Buyile Mdladla, they both did an amazing job with their characters, because really it felt like they sold the characters to me to the point where I felt physically disgusted and physically ill. Like, yeah, as if I'm gonna throw up. I felt that. They made me get to that point, and I think that's just a sign of great acting, because they're evoking strong emotions inside of you, and I think that's what Vele was supposed to be feeling as the audience. Nkosana Samane as Farouk. Initially, I thought this guy's doing a terrible job. Like, that is clearly not a Nigerian accent. Like, dude, you did not have to do. It's like giving me Forrest Whitaker, I think is his name, in that other movie where he plays a king. Let me find. He was trying to do like an African accent. Yeah, he plays Edie. I mean, so he was giving me Forrest Whitaker in The Last King of Scotland with that accent, because it just felt so fake. It sounded so fake. And like, that's the other thing for me. I was like, Larissa, this guy is pretending to be Nigerian. Can you not hear that? This guy does not sound Nigerian. Why are you still talking to the man? Why are you out here trying to put your life in this man's hands? So, but like, once you get to the end, you actually understand that, dude, she didn't care. She didn't care. You could have been trying to speak Hindu for all she cared. She was still gonna end up asking that guy to kill her, because it was all part of the plan, which is a risky plan, by the way, because did she really, really trust that this man's not gonna kill her? I don't understand, right? Even Ayanda Boroto gave such a great performance, because she was acting. I think this woman is an actress. Larissa, that is, not Ayanda Boroto. Larissa. Ne. Because she's pretending to be a church girl, and then she's pretending to be distraught by everything that's being done to her by her husband and her colleague. And then she pretends to be this woman who's been kidnapped and being forced to do all sorts of things. He saw the fear and, the terror in her face. I'm like, girl, when our actor, Shem? That is Larissa. So it's also then just a props to Ayanda Boroto, because she was also able to show us all of these different states of mind and states of feelings that Larissa was going through, from the terror and the distraughtness and the feeling of betrayal when she finds her husband and Mpo together, and then also then the depressive state, the hopelessness state of Larissa when, things just keep getting worse after the sex tape is leaked. And then also later on when she's being released from being a captive and released from capture by Dr. Farouk, she acts like a woman that is like so terrified, and she just wants to be released and, to be sent home essentially. She did an amazing acting all around, was amazing. Jet, what's this guy's name? Jet Nuvuga. He also he wasn't really much on the screen. But like his performance was also good, but he wasn't really on the screen as much. So like your props to the production of this. I think the writing did a very good job, and I think that the director, his name is Adze Uga. He's also a director on Shaka Ilembe. Yeah, the way they structured this entire film, the fact that you were not in a state of actually having a grasp on what's going on the entire movie, and only the events are revealed at the end. And it was like such a major turn of events, a major plot twist. The fact that you were able to be taken throughout the entire film, not suspecting that, the outcome was what it was, that Larissa, the one we're supposed to be feeling sorry for in this entire situation, is actually the mastermind of the entire thing. So yeah, man, amazing job on this film. I'm still shaken up because I don't know what I just watched. I don't know what the heck, this movie, what the heck? It's so insane. Like, who does that? Larissa, you go. I know, you guys, Liborea snacks, man. Yeah? Go do pottery or something, guys. What the heck kind of fun and spicing up your marriage? What kind is this? No. So, yeah, man. But I really like that. It's so different from the films we've been getting lately, which are either like super filled with drama, cheating scandals and all these things, or like just super, super hose yourself, laugh, laugh out loud type of comedies that we've been getting recently. I think the production did an amazing job on this film, because really, like, the way it was structured, the way that things were slowly being uncovered and revealed, but what you thought you knew is not actually what's going on, and it's not what's actually happening, and it's not the actual plot, and it's not the actual play. That level of plot twists was, definitely something that was way unexpected, heavily unexpected, and it just like leaves you mind blown at the end of it all. Especially for me, I was definitely mind blown. Like, I left that movie when I was done watching it, like thinking, what the heck? What the heck? But I do love that this film was very different. I'm really, really happy that, I want to say happy, but like, this movie, it cannot be associated with happy emotions because it was a little bit traumatic. Like, can I say that? It was slightly traumatic watching this film. And so what I'm trying to say is that it was definitely refreshing. It was very refreshing to see something so different. And I think they did an amazing job executing on this film. The actors, they played their parts. The story structure, the writing, they played their part. The director bringing all of these things together definitely did an amazing job. Even the sound, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that you were being given this uneasy and tense feeling, even though the events don't really seem like tense. So that was very, very well done. So yeah, man, can we talk? What did you think about this film? And are there like, what do you think about the little bits and pieces of, I guess, open loops that are not closed, open gaps, the gaps in the storyline? Larissa, how did you know you're not going to get killed? How did you know? Who came to who? The boss or Larissa? And what kind of marriage is this between Hugo and Larissa? Because who does that? Hey guys, go take a spinning class. Why must you shapa a heist and allow your spouse to sleep with somebody else and then see it and have them laugh about it? Like, it's so twisted. It is so twisted, and it's like borderline sick what these people did. All of them, by the way. Like the fact that Mpo, because she didn't know that Larissa's not dead, that Larissa's still alive. She thought that Larissa was dead, but she was, happy about it. She was happily sleeping with Larissa's husband. It's like they were happily plotting her demise. So she's sick. Hugo is sick as well because he planned this thing with Larissa, as well as Larissa is also sick because she's literally the whole entire mastermind. And then Farouk, who like staged Larissa's death and then had Larissa haunt Mpo to get back at Mpo for lying about how much money is actually going to be transferred into the accounts. Like, it was just sick all around. So it was low-key traumatizing what we watched. But as I mentioned before, this is very refreshing. But let's talk. Please, let's talk. I need a debrief session. I need a debrief of this movie. Can we please talk? Okay. Anyway, that's it for day 5 of 100. I will see you. We're 5% there. Yeah? We're 5% there. Rapush. I'll see you again on day 6 of 100. I'm not sure what movie I'm going to review next. I watched another movie that was just trauma. Leona. It's called Amandla, and it's got Lemogang Tsipa, who's Shaga Ilembe. I don't know if I'm ready to speak about that movie, but maybe I also need to come on here and have a low-key therapy session with you so that I can talk about my feelings and all the trauma that movie put me through. Okay. So look out for that. It's probably going to come. I don't know if it's going to be day 6 though. I need something light after this High Infidelity movie. I don't know if I can do trauma on top of trauma. So anyway, I'll see you on day 6 of 100. Until then, bye.